Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia, and I love affordable fashion and beauty on my channel. So if you do too, then you're in the right place. And today is going to be more of a talking video and telling you guys why the queen of palettes, I have around 500. Yes, it's kind of bragging rights and also embarrassing. Why have I gone on a palette no buy? And how long will I be on it? And what am I going to be doing during that time? So if you want to hear how I got my discipline to do this and kind of the motivation behind it, and to see a bunch of palettes that I'm going to be dipping into during this time, then keep on watching. Okay, so first of all, I just wanted to point out this look because I really love it. And if you guys just saw my video covering the Lunar Beauty 12 Days of Lunar Advent Calendar and being so confused by this color story and how it ties into winter and all that, my update is I've now used this 3 times. I don't care that it's not winter. I don't, because the looks I'm getting from this are like some of my favorite looks I've ever had. The shimmers is one of my favorite shimmer formulas I've ever used. It's incredible. The shimmers in here are gorgeous. Like this green, so pretty. So my update on this is it's worth it. Even though we were duped that it's not a winter palette, it's worth it because it's phenomenal. If you like this color story, get it. Okay, so my whole thought process behind going on this no buy, I'm going on it with my friend Bree. I'm gonna pop her in right here. Vegan Bree on YouTube. I met her on Instagram. We also support each other on YouTube, and both of us were just like, this is insane. Like, we're consuming so much. We have palettes we have not touched. Everything's coming out so fast. It's so hard to keep up, and it gets very overwhelming. And when I started looking around and realized that I had not touched so many potentially amazing palettes that people would kill to have, I'm like, I have no reason to keep consuming, buying, and not using what I have. Plus, that's one of the things I love about doing this. I love sharing my looks and my thoughts and my reviews. And how can I do that if I don't actually tap into what I have? And how can I do that if I'm constantly buying the new thing? So, also, if you hear noise, this is my life. Being a mom of 3, it's just, they're running around and not giving me the quiet that I asked for. So if you hear that, just ignore it. Just ignore it. But anyway, so Bree and I were like, you know what? Let's go on a palette no buy. I'm trying to do this until May, you guys. Until May. I've been successful. You guys are seeing this the first weekend of October, and I went on this no buy about 5 weeks ago. I did break and bought 2. I bought the Lunar Beauty because it was special edition and I wanted to grab it, and Lunar Beauty is one of my favorite brands ever. And then I also bought the Sydney Grace Mel singles as well, because that's an exception. I wasn't expecting that to come out, and I did order those. So other than that, I resisted all the Halloween palettes, and those are like, that's my favorite. Like, I love Halloween palettes, but I resisted those. And so far I've been really good. So what am I going to do during all these months? I've got so much I can review, for one, that I haven't touched. Like I said, I've got, I think, around 21 palettes next to me that I'm going to focus on for a good month. And I'm going to show those to you. And I have not touched any of these. Some of the brands I have used and love, but maybe the palette I haven't touched. So that's one thing I'm going to do. And I'm going to come back on and review those for you guys. I'm going to be discussing things that maybe you guys want to hear about, that are frustrated with social media, and tips and tricks, things to avoid, things I've learned in the last, I've been doing this not as long as a lot of people, but I think I've learned a lot. Been doing it for a little over 1.5 years, and I've learned a lot in that time because I dove right in, and I'm on 3 platforms. I give it my all. So I just want to give you guys feedback and just make it about using what I have, and maybe doing brand reviews, looks using one brand. That's the plan. But today I want to show you all the palettes that I have not touched that I plan on using during the next month. So we're going to start with Dose of Colors. This is the Cutting Edge palette. These 5 pan 5-pan palettes are so good. I have another one, is it Sienna? It's so good. The formula is amazing. Very underrated in the palette category. Dose of Colors. Mattes are incredible. So I'm excited to use that color story. I tried to pick kind of fall winter, by the way. So also we have the Kaleidos Futurism 2 Cyber Bronze. Some of you are going to be like, I can't believe you haven't touched these. And I know. That's why I'm doing this, okay? So how gorgeous is this color story for fall? Stunning. Then we have another Kaleidos. This is the Futurism Sci-Fi Green. Another gorgeous fall color story here. Then we have Oma Beauty, and this is an extremely underrated eyeshadow brand. Extremely. I love their shimmer formula. Look how stunningly gorgeous this palette is. Like, this is so fall. And I'm so excited to tap into those greens and the shimmers. Then we have the Hip Dot. This is a Cenote palette. It's funny, when I opened this, I've had this a really long time. I have not touched it. When I opened it, I was like, this reminds me, some of it, of the Lunar Beauty Eclipse palette, which is my favorite cool tone palette ever. But you do have those pops of warm tones in here that you don't have in that palette. You guys are really gonna like kill me for this one. But we have the Odin's Eye Red Dragon palette. This is not available anymore. I know so many people would kill to get their hands on it, and here I am owning it and haven't touched it, which is ridiculous. And I just love the tones in here. This is quintessential fall. And by the way, Odin's Eye has an amazing formula that I love. I love a lot of my other palettes. The Giant Wolves from this collection, I have used that a couple of times. So good. So I'm excited to dip into this. Then we have the Lorac Fairy Tale Forest palette. I wanted this palette so bad when it came out, and then I was like, no, it's not that it's that special, but I thought it was really pretty, and I waited for a sale. I got it, and then I haven't touched it. So silly. So silly, you guys. Then we have this Be Perfect. I've also had this palette forever. This is the Dream Big, Manifest Dream Big palette. And it is a giant palette, okay? And I have heard that Be Perfect, especially from those that live in the UK, that this is like MUA quality. Like, they love it. Amazing looks from it. Some superbly talented MUA artists use Be Perfect. And this does look stunning. As big as it is, it looks gorgeous. So it's about time that I used it. Then we have this giant Mora palette, and I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, it looks really pretty, looks very fall, and we do have a bronzer in here and some shimmer or highlighters. I do love Mora, and I love some of their palettes. Like, their nude essentials palettes, top notch, super affordable. Highly recommend those. But I'm like, I need to try this, because if I don't like it, I don't need this big old thing taking up space. But I think we have a pretty fall color story here. That's really pretty. I wish they kind of just made the palette, but hopefully these are good too. Next up, we have a Lethal Cosmetics palette. So these are all singles that came to make a palette that was already put together, but they came as singles. So I bought a bunch of Lethal. I bought 4 palettes and a ton of singles recently, and I have not used them yet. So I'm going to start with this because I see fall here, and I've heard amazing things about Lethal and Ridiculous that I have not touched that yet. Then we have the Fairy Frolic Unearthly Cosmetics palette. I have tried. It was formerly Alien Cosmetics. I do like their formula. We have these big pans that are kind of like those big Juvia's Place pans. And this is fairly new to my collection, so I haven't had it forever. And I do think this is a pretty fall color story, so I'm excited to dip into that. Then we have a Menagerie Indigo Ink. I've had this one a long time. This does not look super fall, but I do love blues for winter and Christmas looks, so I thought I could tap into some of these blues here, make kind of like an icy wintry look. So I've had this one for way too long to have not touched it yet. This Violet Voss, I have tried the formula and I like it a lot. It's not my favorite, but I do like it a lot. This screams fall to me and I haven't dipped into it, so I'm excited for that one. Then this is fairly new as well. The Melt Gemini 2, definitely a fall palette. Can't get much more fall than that. I love the Mariposa palette. I will do a best of at the end of the year of the palettes I've tried this year. That's another reason that I want to do this, is I want to try as much as I own to have that list be accurate. And Mariposa is going in my top for sure. That palette's so good. So that's going to be in there. Then we have Sample Beauty. I never hear anyone talk about Sample Beauty. It is extremely affordable. I got this off of, my mind is going blank. It has a Wilderness palette and the Opulence palette. Beauty Bay. I got this off Beauty Bay. It was so cheap. I've had it for quite a while. This kind of almost looks like a Blend Bunny palette if it were laid out differently, but it's got that like punch of like Surge or Primal, those kind of tones. So I want to try it because if it's not good, I need to get rid of it because it is a bigger palette. Last two are from Pat McGrath. I now own all the motherships except for one, which is the first one. And these are newer to my collection. I have tried out all the rest of mine except for these two. So we do have, this is Moonlight Seduction, or let's see. Yes, this is Moonlight Seduction. At first, I did not think I wanted this palette. I was like, it looks boring. The more I saw swatches, reviews, people's looks, it looked beautiful. And I love Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath's definitely in my tops. I adore, I'm a Pat McGrath kind of like fanatic enthusiast now. And I mean, in person, this is way more beautiful. I love Pat McGrath. I know some people are like, oh, it's overrated. That's how I feel about Natasha Denona. But I love my motherships. I do. And I definitely say if you get one and you try it one time and you're like, I don't know, and you think you're going to sell it, keep using them, because the more you use them, the more you fall in love. And then we have Utopian Dream. This was always one that I wanted. A lot of times it was sold out. I finally picked it up. So those are the two I'm really excited about. But that is what I'm going to focus on for a month. And you guys see why I need to be on a palette no buy. Like, there's no reason to have all these and to not have tried them. It's ridiculous. So you guys let me know, are you going to go on a no buy soon? Like, are you overwhelmed by how much is coming out like I am, like Bree is? And which of these palettes are you most excited for reviews for? Or have you tried them and do you love them or you hate them? Let me know down below. I know it's Christmas. It's getting to be Christmas time. Black Friday time, all of those things. Just keep in mind, don't buy just because it's on sale, and I'm so guilty of that. And last year I actually did this right after Black Friday. I made it 4 months, so I do believe in myself that I can make it till May. So don't just buy everything. If it's something you've been dying to get it. And if you're just like, oh, I'm only getting this because it's on sale, leave it behind, okay? Let's try to be good. All right, but you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. As always, have fun shopping. Budget shopping. Bye.